The family of a missing woman who has since been found dead is now crying foul. A missing persons report for Latasha White was filed by police May 1st. Good evening, I'm Connie Leonard.
And I'm Doug Proffitt. Thanks for joining us on this Friday evening. But her family says they warned Metro Police that she was missing days before. Now White's family is talking about it, saying it took police too long to take her disappearance seriously. And late today, we got the police department side of the story. Alexandra Goldberg is here with more on this new development. Alexandra?
Doug, Connie, Metro Police late today said the information they received didn't meet the criteria for a public alert. But White's family said after they noticed White never showed up at work, her personal belongings were still at home, and security cameras were torn out, something bad had happened. Her siblings say it took days for police to take their concerns seriously and launch an investigation.
Why do some cases get precedent over others? Is it the color? Or what is it, the community that we in?
The family of 49-year-old Latasha White says it took Louisville Metro Police far too long to take action on a missing persons case.
When will some reform be done to this system where you take actions on all cases?
Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins says White was last heard from on April 28th, and a missing persons report was filed by her family on April 30th. But LMPD says the timeline is different. They said an officer responded to a welfare check with no response or no signs of foul play on April 30th. And the missing persons report was filed on May 1st.
Miss White's wallet, her phone, her ID, her watch, and her car was left behind at her home. Cameras was unplugged, but she was not there and has not been seen for the last almost 10 days.
This case is now a homicide investigation after her body was found on May 7th.
I just feel like LMPD felt my sister. They felt my sister. They failed her.
Police confirmed White's body was discovered in the Buchel neighborhood. LMPD reported a woman was, quote, obviously deceased and appeared to have been shot on Newport Road on Wednesday afternoon.
So if you act faster, maybe we could have got to it sooner than what it is.
Jewel Neal, White's sister, says when her sister never showed up at work, she told police that something was wrong, but she didn't feel heard.
I remember he said, actually, it sounded like she just left and wanted to get some me time. If I tell you that she does not do that, she doesn't do it.
LMPD failed us.
White's brother, Theodore Spencer, calling for police reform in the city.
Not just our family. They have failed many other families in this community, and they wonder why we feel the way that we feel about them.
And Councilman J.P. Linninger also standing with them.
Our city is failing to have equal justice, to solve our culture problems in policing.
And we have more information from police about how they viewed this case. They say they did not see an indication of struggle at her home. Police also said that her family didn't provide any information that indicated she was in imminent danger, which would have elevated the alert status. In the studio, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS11 on your side. Connie, Doug.
Save Joe Cryson! Save Joe Cryson! Save Joe Cryson!
The scene just a few days ago, and now a few days later, what a massive new change in this story. This showing of support back on Tuesday evening led to the city walking back its plans today for that massive tennis and pickleball development that would be built at Cryson Park near the Louisville Zoo. And we have more on the about face from Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg after hundreds of people showed up to voice their opposition to that new pickleball and tennis center this week today. The mayor pulling his support from the deal.
And right now, people are gathering at Cryson Park to celebrate their victory. Isaiah Kim Martinez and photojournalist Jessica Farley are there. Isaiah?
And Connie, Doug, folks will be here at 5:30 to, in their words, celebrate what they call a win to save Cryson Park. We don't see folks gathering just yet, but I'll show you. This is, of course, the land here that was the center of all that controversy, whether this public land could be taken over for this project, specifically to turn it into what the mayor called a world-class tennis center. Ultimately, though, hundreds here said no, and the mayor listened.
I'm announcing that the proposed tennis and pickleball project at Cryson Park will not be moving forward.
A major reversal from the Louisville mayor. met with thunderous applause. Craig Greenberg saying mistakes were made and that he listened to the hundreds of people who rallied to, in their words, save Joe Cryson Park.
It is clear that our community has serious objections to this project in this location.
I'm so excited, so inspired.
That massive $65 million tennis and pickleball complex Greenberg so strongly endorsed on Tuesday.
This would be a huge boost for our tourism economy, for economic development, and for independent businesses that are located nearby Joe Cryson Park.
Now dead before it even started.
The size of this project in this location posed a problem. And I think that was a hurdle that was insurmountable.
The mayor says the city will look to build elsewhere.
We're taking it as a win. We're excited.
We talked to a few dozen of the people who signed on to push back in numbers we don't often see.
Today was victory, and this really means something. This is really a movement.
Protesting the proposal for days.
Our son took his first steps on a green space that they wanted to pave over.
Now relishing in the moment. And Doug, Connie, it's actually a nonprofit that was running this project, hoping to develop on this land before, of course, the mayor axed it today. The CEO of that nonprofit is actually the Bellarmine's head tennis coach, which sort of invited some conversation here about folks wondering sort of how that connection really benefits them or if it ultimately benefits the university. We're going to hear from that CEO coming up here at 6 o'clock. Doug, Connie.
Well, Isaiah, the mayor mentioned that this pickleball project, possibly going to be built somewhere else in the community. Was he talking about this very same group moving to a different spot?
Doug, he's not. He's actually talking about a different initiative. It seems this has been something, of course, that he has been really looking into, building tennis and pickleball centers across the city. We've heard some other potential locations. He says there's one that they have in mind for a separate proposal, but he wouldn't give any insight into that. There's been some rumors going around. Will it be Tom Sawyer Park? There's nothing we can confirm on that just yet. But again, all options are on the table right now, except, of course, here. Doug.
All right, very good. Thank you, Isaiah. And again, all that green space behind him. Going to fill up at 5:30, Connie, for a victory party tonight.
Absolutely, and they're going to have a nice night for it, right?
I mean, what a day to hang out at the park. You could have just been there all day long. And our chief meteorologist, Mallory Schnell, is going to take us into the weekend. I hope you're holding the rain off until, we all have to come back to work.
We are. Mother Nature got the memo this weekend, so we are looking to stay dry for your Saturday, for your Mother's Day as well, for your Friday night. Get out and enjoy this beautiful weather. Temperatures are in the upper 60s and lower 70s all across the Louisville Metro. We're at 73 degrees in downtown Louisville, also up in Sellersburg, 71 at the airport, 69 at Bowman Field and in Fern Creek at this hour. Big picture view showing much of the same all across Kentuckiana with comfortable temperatures in the mid to upper 60s and lower 70s. So technically we're running about 5 or so degrees below normal, but it feels quite nice with that abundant sunshine and blue skies. Wind speeds have been light for much of the day. They have picked up somewhat over the last hour or so. We are seeing sustained winds anywhere between about 5 to 15 miles per hour. So just a bit of a light breeze, nothing on the satellite and radar. So if you're heading out and about this evening, it'll be a gorgeous evening out there with lows tonight dipping down into the 40s. We'll take a look at that Mother's Day weekend forecast coming up in just a few.
All right, Mallory, thank you. Today, council members Tammy Hawkins and J.P. Leninger held a press conference to address concerns brought to her from former Stellar Snacks employees. The company recently opened in West Louisville, bringing 350 jobs, but employees feel they aren't being treated fairly. Again, that's some employees. They've told Metro Council there's been discrimination, offensive language used, and other workplace issues.
I just want to say that all the promises that we was given from the beginning, it's been so many broken promises. It's been a lot of neglect and just unfair treatment.
The things they would expect from us were unrealistic. Knowing we weren't trained properly to do most of the tasks that was required from us.
Now, the council members say the mayor's office has been notified of these complaints. The company did release a statement saying, in part, as a mom, a business owner, and someone who cares profoundly for our employees and community, I want to say this: Stellar Snacks is the kind of place where families can grow and thrive. Stellar Snacks is a family business built on the belief that kindness, fairness, and opportunity are not just values, they are the foundation of everything we do.
Today in Harrison County, Indiana, detectives arrested and charged a son for the murder of his father. Another man was charged with helping set the home on fire afterwards. 26-year-old Edward Powers and 23-year-old David Woosley Jr. is charged in the death of 51-year-old David Woosley Sr. Woosley Sr.'s body was found after a house fire in Elizabeth, Indiana. But the coroner found that he was dead from a shooting before the fire. Neighbors of David Woosley Jr. told police that he did not come home that night until after 2 in the morning, and both Powers and Woosley's guns were found hidden. Flock cameras showed Powers' car heading in the direction of the house the night of the blaze.
This was a planned attack. Mr. Woosley, alone in his bedroom and likely caught by surprise, stood no chance of defending himself. The attackers carefully removed all spent shell casings from the scene. In an attempt to destroy evidence of Mr. Woosley's murder, the house was set on fire and left to burn.
The 2 men are charged with murder, arson, and lying to police officers.
New tonight, police believe a man was impersonating an alcohol and beverage control officer to get free merchandise. According to Louisville ABC, the Shively police helped them investigate Ahmad al-Bakari. Al-Bakari allegedly approached at least one local business and claimed to be an ABC officer. He then offered preferential treatment in exchange for $8,000 worth of merchandise. Luckily, the alleged scheme didn't work and the business reported him. Shively police think he could have defrauded other businesses. They're asking other business owners who were approached by this man to call the ABC tip line. That number is 502-574-3559. Al-Bakari was charged with impersonating an officer.